Being a truly unforgettable woman has nothing to do with appearance or status, but with the inner strength you project into the world. There are women who enter a room and capture attention without saying a single word. They don't beg for love or plead for attention, yet they're the ones no one wants to lose. Deep psychology reveals that certain characteristics make a woman magnetic and irreplaceable. Carl Jung shows us that the key isn't about trying to please others, but becoming fully who you truly are. When a woman knows, respects, and values herself, she becomes a force that attracts authentic relationships and genuine admiration. But how do you develop that irresistible presence? What separates women who are always remembered from those easily forgotten? The answer lies not in superficial tricks, but in 9 psychological keys that transform your essence and make people around you feel your presence is a true privilege. Prepare to discover how to awaken your personal power and become the woman no one wants to lose. You're about to access profound knowledge that can completely change how you see yourself and how others react to you. The way the world perceives us isn't just about appearance or external behavior. It's a direct manifestation of our psyche. Everything we feel, believe, and carry within is reflected in our presence. If there's insecurity, fear of rejection, or a need for approval, this subtly manifests in how we express ourselves. On the other hand, when a woman deeply knows herself and aligns with her essence, she radiates an energy that effortlessly attracts and captivates. Carl Jung teaches that the individuation process is the key to becoming who we truly are. This concept represents the path of self-knowledge, where we leave behind masks imposed by society, past traumas, and limiting patterns to integrate all parts of our psyche. A woman who walks this path becomes authentic, whole, and magnetic because her presence carries no contradictions or falsehoods. She is exactly what she was born to be. Many women spend their lives seeking external validation, believing they need others' approval to feel complete. This unconscious desire leads them to mold their personalities to please others, saying yes when they want to say no, adapting to expectations. The problem is, this generates an energy of lack that repels rather than attracts. Those who need validation from the world place themselves in a fragile position, while those who validate themselves internally project strength and self-sufficiency. True attraction isn't about trying to impress, but developing a deep sense of self-worth. When a woman knows who she is and what she deserves, she doesn't chase, beg for attention, or accept less than she desires. This attitude makes others perceive her as high value, because our perception of others is directly tied to the value they give themselves. The more someone respects themselves, the more others respect and value them. There's a big difference between superficial attraction and deep connection. Superficial attraction is based on external factors like beauty, momentary charm, or a fabricated personality meant to impress. But this doesn't sustain lasting bonds because artificiality soon fades. In contrast, deep connection happens when a person's essence is authentically felt and appreciated. And this only occurs when there's true presence and a well-constructed identity. If this content made you reflect, and you want to keep learning how to awaken your personal power, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any video that could transform your life. A woman who truly knows herself becomes interesting because she isn't limited to the transient. Her presence awakens curiosity and admiration because her emotional and mental depth sets her apart. She doesn't need games or manipulations to be noticed. Her essence speaks for itself. When someone interacts with her, they feel they're in front of someone special, someone who doesn't fit common patterns, and thus becomes unforgettable. What truly makes a woman stand out isn't the effort to be accepted, but the courage to be fully herself. When there's no fear of displeasing or being different, a freedom arises that few possess. This freedom manifests in how she moves, expresses herself, and positions herself in the world, creating a natural attraction beyond the physical. It's an energy that's felt, a magnetism, impossible to ignore. Before seeking to be desired or valued, the first step is to look inward. Self-knowledge is the path to a strong, authentic presence. When you become who you truly are without needing to prove anything to anyone, you automatically transform into the woman no one wants to lose. Now that you understand the psychological foundation behind personal magnetism, it's time to explore, one by one, the 9 keys that turn a woman into someone truly unforgettable. These keys aren't superficial tricks, but deep principles influencing how you see yourself and how others perceive you. Each represents an essential aspect of developing self-confidence, presence, and the ability to create authentic connections. So get ready. By applying these lessons, you'll start noticing real changes in how you're valued and admired. Let's begin with the first key. 1. Unshakable self-confidence. A woman who knows who she is doesn't need approval to feel secure. Her presence transmits strength because she doesn't seek to fill voids with others' validation. This doesn't mean arrogance or coldness, but an internal equilibrium where she understands her worth and acts from that certainty. Genuine self-confidence is reflected in body language, voice, and how one faces life. Insecurity, however, is perceptible even without words. Small gestures like avoiding eye contact, hesitant speech, or constantly seeking reassurance reveal a lack of confidence that repels. Strengthening self-confidence isn't a luxury but a necessity for anyone wanting healthy relationships and true value. Eliminating insecurities doesn't mean ignoring them, but facing them consciously. The first step is identifying their origins. Where does the fear of not being enough come from? What past experiences fed this feeling? Understanding the roots allows you to reframe them and stop letting them define your self-image. One secret to building self-confidence is changing your internal dialogue. Often, we're our own worst critics, repeating destructive thoughts that undermine our worth. Practicing self-compassion and replacing these beliefs with positive affirmations can transform your self-perception. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," try affirming, "I am capable," and constantly evolving. What you believe internally shapes your external reality. Beyond mindset, body posture also influences confidence. Studies show that upright posture with relaxed shoulders and steady eye contact conveys security to others and yourself. Small habits like maintaining a firm, calm tone of voice, avoiding excessive apologies, and holding eye contact make a huge difference in how you're perceived. Another powerful exercise for strengthening self-esteem is stepping out of your comfort zone. Challenging yourself, whether learning something new, taking on responsibilities, or facing fears, registers these achievements as proof of your worth. Over time, these accumulated experiences build unshakable confidence, because you know you can overcome challenges and grow. True self-confidence doesn't come from external factors, but the internal certainty that you're enough as you are. When a woman feels this way, she doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, and that freedom makes her naturally magnetic. The security she radiates makes people want to be around her because everyone is drawn to those comfortable in their own skin. 2. Fearless authenticity. Authentic women possess natural magnetism because they don't live trying to meet others' expectations. They express themselves truthfully, unafraid to displease or be different. This authenticity radiates powerful energy. When someone allows themselves to be real, they awaken respect and admiration. People sense genuineness, and this trust in one's identity creates an irresistible presence. The need to please others traps many women. From a young age, we're taught to seek acceptance, avoid conflict, and mold ourselves to external expectations. The problem is that trying to please everyone disconnects us from ourselves. True liberation begins when we realize we don't need others' approval to be valuable. When you stop adapting to fit others' standards, you start attracting people who truly appreciate your essence. One first step to breaking free is learning to say no without guilt. Authentic women know setting boundaries doesn't make them less kind, it makes them more respected. Practicing unfiltered self-expression, whether through voice, posture, or style, strengthens identity and reinforces the message that you're unafraid to be yourself. Another way to express authenticity is reconnecting with what truly makes you happy. Often, we silence our genuine interests for fear of judgment. Ask yourself, what parts of me have I hidden to be accepted? What would I do or say if I weren't afraid of others' opinions? Reclaiming these answers is a powerful path to living freely and truthfully. Authenticity isn't about rebellion, without purpose, but aligning your life with your true essence. When you allow yourself to be exactly who you are without trying to fit in, you naturally attract the right people. Best of all, you'll never have to pretend or strive for acceptance, because your presence alone will suffice. 3. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one of the most powerful qualities a woman can develop. Managing emotions without outbursts or repression lets you stay balanced in any situation. Instead of being dominated by feelings, you learn to observe, understand, and channel them constructively. This doesn't mean ignoring emotions, but acknowledging them without letting them control your actions. A key aspect of emotional intelligence is deeply connecting with others without becoming emotionally dependent. Many women confuse love with attachment, losing their identity in relationships. True connection happens when you share your essence without needing others to validate who you are. When there's balance, love flows without control, fear, or insecurity. To build emotional strength, self-awareness is crucial. This involves identifying emotional triggers and understanding why certain situations provoke intense reactions. Whenever you feel strong emotions, ask, "What does this really mean for me?" Often, anger or sadness stems not from the present, but unhealed past wounds. Awareness empowers you to transform these patterns. Another powerful strategy is learning to regulate emotions. Techniques like conscious breathing, meditation, and therapeutic writing help process feelings healthily. In tense moments, slowing down and reflecting before reacting prevents regret and strengthens emotional presence. Women who manage their emotions radiate serene, secure energy, making them highly attractive. True emotional strength comes from the ability to feel without losing oneself. When you master your emotions instead of being mastered by them, you become a magnetic, inspiring presence. People sense this security and feel naturally drawn to your stability. In a world full of chaos, being a woman who radiates balance is a true differentiator. 4. Mystery and depth. Mystery has always fascinated people. When something isn't fully revealed immediately, it sparks genuine curiosity and interest. In relationships, the same principle applies. A woman with depth, layers, and an aura of mystery becomes unforgettable. This doesn't mean being cold or inaccessible, but not giving everything away at once. The charm lies in the space created for discovery. Balancing transparency and mystery is an art. Transparency means being genuine and authentic without games or masks. However, this doesn't mean exposing everything about yourself instantly. Mystery arises from subtly sharing bit by bit, letting others engage and become interested naturally. A woman who doesn't reveal everything invites others to want to know her deeply. Having a fulfilling life beyond relationships is key to maintaining depth. When a woman places her entire existence in another person, she loses her own spark. But when she cultivates individual interests, passions, and dreams, her presence becomes magnetic. A life rich in experiences, learning, and personal growth generates irresistible energy, showing she doesn't need anyone to feel complete. Mystery isn't just about what you hide, but what you subtly reveal. Small details, glances, gestures, and how you express yourself create a greater impact than overexposure. Mastering captivating conversation, sparking imagination, and leaving room for curiosity make your presence memorable and impossible to ignore. A woman combining depth with mystery becomes someone others long to discover. She doesn't desperately seek attention because her essence alone is enough to naturally attract. In a world of exposure and superficiality, being someone with layers, personal dreams, and a rich soul truly makes a difference. 5. Independence and self-sufficiency. What's always available without effort is often undervalued. This applies to everything in life, including relationships. When a woman is overly accessible, always available, and lacks her own life, her presence becomes predictable. In contrast, a woman with a full, independent life radiates more valuable energy. People are naturally drawn to what they can't fully control, and a self-sufficient woman commands respect and admiration. Building a fulfilling life without needing others doesn't mean rejecting love or connections, but ensuring your happiness doesn't depend on external factors. This involves creating your own wellspring of joy through interests, goals, and pleasures unlinked to others. Women who cultivate hobbies, careers, and passions radiate special strength because they live for themselves, not others. This emotional independence makes them far more attractive. The secret lies in balancing independence and connection. Being independent doesn't mean closing off to the world or avoiding deep bonds. It means entering relationships by choice, not need. A woman who feels complete alone relates more healthily, without fear of losing herself. This security creates an environment where love can grow without emotional games or excessive demands. True freedom comes when you know you can walk alone, but choose to share your path with those truly worth it. With this inner certainty, your presence becomes rare and special. What's rare will always be more valued. 6. Feminine. Energy and powerful presence. Feminine energy profoundly impacts how people perceive and connect with you. Unlike aggressive force, this energy manifests through softness, receptivity, and trust in your essence. When a woman aligns with this inner force, her presence becomes magnetic without effort. Her way of speaking, moving, and interacting exudes natural charm that attracts and envelops. Many mistake softness for weakness, but true strength lies in balancing these polarities. Being feminine doesn't mean submission or passivity, but expressing power with elegance. A woman can be firm in her decisions, hold strong opinions, and still maintain welcoming energy. This balance creates an irresistible presence, radiating security without losing sensitivity. To enhance magnetic presence, practice body and emotional awareness. Exercises like open posture, deep breathing before speaking, and intentional eye contact make a big difference. Connecting with your feelings and expressing them authentically generates natural charisma. When you're comfortable with yourself, others perceive it. True, powerful presence doesn't come from what you do, but who you are. When you're fully connected to yourself, trusting your worth, and expressing femininity authentically, your energy becomes irresistible. This is the difference between being seen and being truly remembered. 7. Captivating communication. How you communicate directly impacts how people perceive you. Speaking in a way that makes others truly listen involves not just word choice, but transmitting authenticity, security, and intention in your voice. When you express yourself clearly and confidently, your message becomes more attractive, and people naturally pay attention. Women who effortlessly captivate have a secret. They master not just what they say, but how they say it. Tone, pacing, and strategic pauses create magnetic effects. They don't rush to fill silences or apologize for their opinions. Instead, they convey ideas with calm and presence, making every word carry weight. Body language is also key in captivating communication. Firm eye contact, subtle gestures, and confident posture send powerful messages without words. Keeping your head high, shoulders relaxed, and a slight smile while speaking makes your presence automatically more attractive. Another essential tip is active listening. Many people only think about what to say next, but those who truly captivate know the power of attentive listening. Showing genuine interest, reacting naturally, and asking strategic questions create instant connection. Captivating communication isn't a monologue, but a balanced energy exchange. A woman who masters communication stands out without forcing anything. Her voice has impact, her presence is felt, and her energy leaves a mark. When you learn to express yourself with confidence and presence, a simple conversation can become unforgettable. 8. Self-respect and clear boundaries. The respect you receive from others begins with the respect you have for yourself. When a woman values herself, it's reflected in her posture, choices, and how she allows herself to be treated. The secret to being valued without demanding it is simple. Act in line with your worth. Those who know their value don't beg for recognition. Their confidence inspires natural respect. Many women confuse kindness with submission and end up being undervalued. Being kind and understanding is wonderful, but shouldn't come at the cost of your well-being. The difference between being too nice and being respected lies in the boundaries you set. If you always yield to avoid conflict or gain acceptance, you teach others your feelings and needs are secondary. Setting clear boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to demonstrate self-respect. Saying no when necessary, without fear of disappointing others, is an act of self-respect. Many women avoid boundaries fearing they'll seem harsh or lose someone, but those who truly value you won't leave just because you respect yourself. A common mistake is thinking setting boundaries means aggression or conflict. Healthy boundaries are communicated firmly, yet calmly. Instead of over-explaining or apologizing, simple phrases like, "This doesn't work for me," or "I prefer to do it another way," suffice. A calm, confident tone reinforces your position without confrontation. When you define what you accept and reject, you avoid emotional drain and surround yourself with people who truly respect you. Healthy relationships are built on mutual balance, not one-sided sacrifices. The more you stand your ground, the more you attract aligned connections. Another key point is not feeling guilty for having boundaries. Many women are taught to prioritize others to the point of neglecting their own needs. But boundaries aren't selfish barriers. They're filters protecting your energy and well-being. Those bothered by your boundaries benefited from your lack of them. How you allow others to treat you sets your relationship standards. If you accept disrespect, it'll keep happening. But when you stand firm and maintain integrity, people learn they must treat you with the value you deserve. Ultimately, boundaries don't push the right people away, only the wrong ones. Those who truly love and respect you will understand your needs and value the confident woman you are. True respect starts from within. 9. A life that inspires. A woman's true magnetism doesn't come solely from her looks or words, but from what she builds for herself. A life rich in meaning, experiences, and personal growth generates irresistible energy. When you focus on becoming your best self, your presence naturally inspires and attracts those who want to be part of your universe. Finding purpose and passion is essential to becoming that magnetic woman. What makes your eyes shine? What challenges and drives you? Women who live passionately vibrate differently. They don't wait for others to bring happiness or purpose. They create it themselves. When you're connected to something bigger than relationships, your presence becomes far more valuable. The inspiration you generate doesn't come from motivational speeches, but how you live. People are drawn to those with vision, courage, and authenticity. When you pursue dreams, dedicate yourself to what you love, and face challenges with determination, you become a role model without needing to prove anything. Your example speaks louder than words. Many women spend their lives trying to be desired when they should focus on being admirable. Desire can be fleeting, but admiration builds lasting connections. Men, friends, and even strangers are impacted by the energy of a woman who knows what she wants and follows her own path. To live inspirationally, you must allow constant growth and evolution. This means leaving your comfort zone, learning new things, exploring the world, and developing challenging skills. Stagnation dims anyone's light, while continuous progress keeps your energy alive and contagious. An inspiring woman's impact goes beyond herself. She elevates others. Her presence motivates those around her to grow, believe in themselves, and seek better. When you live with purpose, your existence becomes an invitation for others to awaken their own transformation. A woman who builds an incredible life for herself never settles for crumbs of attention, mediocre relationships, or toxic environments. Her elevated vibration naturally filters out anything beneath her value. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. Ultimately, an inspiring life is one where you feel whole and fulfilled, regardless of who's beside you. True magnetism lies in genuine joy for life and the freedom to be who you truly are. When you become that woman, no one wants to lose you, not because you strive to be indispensable, but because your essence is rare and unmistakable. Throughout this video, we've explored the 9 keys to becoming the woman no one wants to lose, from unshakable self-confidence to building an inspiring life. Each element is essential for anyone wanting to be valued, respected, and admired in all areas of life. These keys aren't magic formulas, but principles that, when applied, transform your energy, self-esteem, and how the world perceives you. At the core of everything is self-knowledge and personal power. No external technique works if you don't know who you truly are and what you want for yourself. When you understand your worth and learn to respect yourself, how others treat you automatically changes. You stop seeking external validation and start living from an internal certainty that you're enough on your own. The path to becoming that magnetic, inspiring woman doesn't happen overnight, but every small step counts. The most important thing is remembering you don't need to be perfect, just authentic. Every time you choose to prioritize yourself, set boundaries, cultivate emotional intelligence, and live purposefully, you move closer to your best self. So the question is, what will you do from now on? Will you keep accepting less than you deserve, or will you take charge of your life? The power is already within you. You just need to decide to use it. You deserve to be a woman who's not only desired, but admired, respected, and impossible to forget. If this content helped you, leave a comment below. I want to know which key resonated most. Share this video with other women who need to hear this message, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future content that will keep transforming your self-perception.